Yes, 2040. May 2040. The vapor canopy.
There's so many references to it in the antiquity of this watery canopy of this world. And the archaeological record is rife with proof we had a vapor canopy world. Why the deception? Why would they not want us to know about this?
We have less than 14 years, and all that change happens. I'm going to give you some links, and you can go and look at all that. But at the core of any of that is this idea of a reset. Whether it be vapor canopy, whether it be the simulation is ending, whether it be, the aliens are coming, all these different things. If you look historically, you'll see consistently there's been different cataclysms and resets, right? So knowing this, then you have to ask yourself, then how do I prepare? And then you think of all the different ways to prepare. But here's my thought with this video. And it has to do with preparing for what you don't know. You don't know. Because when we think about conditions and changes and things, especially with the vapor canopy, then we're talking about conditions in the world that are entirely different than anything we've known or will know. Now, supposedly the flora and fauna get gigantic. Human physiology, everything changes. Animals around us change. Everything changes.
2 of those scientists went to Martinique, where 30,000 people were incinerated in less than 20 seconds when a volcano, Mount Pelée, blew up in the French Caribbean. Those 2 scientists were studying insects and plant life in the volcano itself, and every day they were exposed to the ambient radiation that came from that volcano. And it was documented that those 2 men, one in their late 50s and one in their 60s, both grew 2 inches taller. That's a vapor canopy condition. Vapor canopies are created by an immense amount of volcanism, and this is what we find in the ancient past. So 1902 was 138 years before 2040, when the big one is going to happen.
Now, with that change comes new tools, new ideas. So my thought is that as we move forward in the change, the more that we're adaptable, the more that we go within, the more that we'll be able to actually navigate the unknown, right? Before you go to all that and figure out, okay, what's true and what isn't true, ask yourself this one question. How much did they pay you to give up on your dreams?
How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
Me and you, all of us, we've given up on our dreams along the way, and they paid us a pittance to do so, right? We got caught up in the construct, caught up in the lies, and so on. But our dreams are still there. And the thing of it is, the war has always been on you and me.
This is an informational warfare. Why do you think they destroy history and rewrite it? Because if it was all there in front of you, you would remember too much too fast. This is a war on our nervous system. The phone that you're holding, listening to this video, it's part of that war. All news, concert culture, drinking culture, professional sport, anything that feels like a competition, that is a war on your nervous system. The more we move our body, the more sun we get, the more we believe in the small voice inside of us, in the visions that we have, the more your Akashic records are activated. And because this is a simulation, meaning everything that you are going through inside is projected outside of you, and then you experience it externally. It's a beautiful law of reflection.
I do a lot of contemplating. And the one thing that I've come back to again and again has to do with Walter Russell and his idea of the God within. And it's on mark when you realize that when he published his first book, he actually got a warning from the Pope.
So Dr. Russell gets a couple visitors in his Carnegie Hall studio in New York. And they say, "You Walter Russell?" "Yes, we're from the Vatican. And we've been sent here by the Pope to let you know that he has said that you are to never, ever reprint this book. And if you do, the Pope will issue a decree destroying you privately and professionally." And Dr. Russell never did reprint the Universal One.
Now, the beauty of all that is going forward is that it can be a great hell, or it can be a participatory event, an evolution of our consciousness and of the way we live. And the evolution is a revolution. So there's all kinds of opportunities and possibilities that we don't know about. And the way that we navigate this, I think, is along the lines of Walter Russell.
But that's what our teachings do. We teach you of the divine within, that there is no separability between you and your creator. And the moment that you accept that. Mrs. Russell had a beautiful quote. The most difficult thing for any human being is to discover their divinity, then live it.
Or Greg Braden, the God within. It's the silence within. It's why they try to hijack all of our attention and why they get us to, move away from spirit, God, sex, love, all those powerful things that actually are designed to free our spirit and for us to fully live within our body and who we really are.
Leah would always say that you could live either a purposeful or purposeless life. The choice is yours. When you become aware of the divine within, now your life becomes purposeful.
And that's why evolution is revolution, because they don't want us to evolve. They want us to be under control. Now, it doesn't matter who they are. In fact, that's all part of the lie. The real thing is to, again, the God within, the silence within. Pull yourself away from all the distractions, and it's through listening and trusting each other. It's through connecting with each other, connecting with ourselves, connecting with spirit, that we bypass all the manipulations, all the deep programming that has gone on. We don't need to go down these rabbit holes. We don't need to try to figure out the lies and the truth. That's all a manipulation as well. By going within, we bypass all that. And it's through listening and trusting each other again. It's embracing the next period to thrive beyond the limitations. And realizing the revolution, the evolution of our spirit, our soul, our mind, our body is an act of love with ourselves and with each other. And by connecting and with that in mind, we move beyond everything. Our adaptability, our ability to go within, ask questions, free write towards answers, and really, we don't know what we don't know. So when we go within, we can actually solve what we don't even know we need to solve yet. It's that adaptability, the fluidity of life, the uncertainty principle, where you allow for the uncertainty to be the wisdom of life itself. It's moving and living in that uncertainty that the wisdom actually flourishes, and we become free of fear, free of all that. And so you're no longer looking, all the distractions, all the stuff, all the searching, all the looking. What's the next video? What's the next thing that's supposed to become? What's this? No. All that's gone. In the silence, the answers are true. And it's in that truth that we live free. If you found this video helpful, be sure to send it to someone you think will also find it helpful. Give it a like. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Move through this reality field like you fully know how made up all of the rules are. You know way too much to continue to act like a person who doesn't know. Once you see beyond the veil, it is very uncomfortable to go back to living like a person who cannot see beyond the veil. You're going to get frustrated at yourself. You're going to feel like you're not actually taking action in the way that's in alignment with your soul. And what's happening is that you have dissolved certain limitations that are allowing you to see into a reality field in a more expanded way. And your body and your physical self is going to want to take action in alignment with the way that you are feeling and sensing and seeing. But your ego is going to want to keep you in the old way of being.